Hi friends, welcome to Little Red Skills. In this video, I would like to explain a small example like conversion of string to HTML and HTML to PDF using node.js. So I would like to uh, first I wanted to convert a string to HTML. For that, let's create a small node project using npm init. So let's give the name of the project like HTML to PDF. Sorry, string to HTML to PDF. Let's enter all the things and yeah, our package.json got created. Just I wanted to update this index.js as app.js as for our feasibility. I will create this app.js. Now first I wanted to convert the string to HTML. For this, in the node.js, we have an concept like file stream. So for that, we can use fs and we can add that module. So first we need to add that fs module, and using this fs module, I just wanted to create an HTML using write file. So for this, the input is path. I will just give, let name it as like invoice.html, and data can be like string or buffer like. So for now, as our requirement, we just needed to convert the string to HTML. So I just create hello world and I wanted to put this in between. Let keep body to. So yeah, now we pass the data to, and I wanted to return callback function. If we got some error or anything, then we can throw that error. Or else just I wanted to print console.log of HTML created. Let's save this and just run node space app.js. If you see over here, our HTML file got created. Okay, now what we can do is let's convert this HTML to PDF. For the HTML to PDF conversion, we have an npm module like HTML to PDF node. I wanted to use this npm module for the conversion of HTML to PDF. So I will add this node module and just install in my log. As it is a large node module package, It is like around 150 to 160 MB. It will take some time. Let's wait for a few seconds to complete it. Meanwhile, let we add, as if you see here, let we add this to our module. What we are doing is like we are adding this HTML to PDF in our app.js. Yeah, now it's got completed. So as you see here, we they suggested like we can give some options, and we can send the file in two different ways. One is using content, and it is in static HTML. The other is like URL. Let we use this one first. Let's paste and take the same thing what they have given, the function HTML to generate PDF, and this generate PDF is taking file as input and options and a callback function, and it is returning an promise function with the buffer. So it is throwing the buffer to as a return. So let's check whether the buffer is getting created or not. Just run the application. Options is not declared. Okay, let's take. Yeah, just rerun it again. If you see, HTML got created and the buffer is got generated too. Now what we can do is just using this again, the same fs.write file. Now this time I wanted to convert the buffer to PDF. So I will pass this PDF buffer as input, and I will write the callback function. If of error through error, or else just print console.log of, same as like previous. Sorry. Now just run node space app.js. It will create both HTML and PDF file. But these two files are different. Why? Because here we have given the content as different, and here we are passing the content as different. So as we wanted to create some HTML and I wanted to print the same HTML to our invoice PDF, the one way is like we can give the same data what we are giving over here, and we can paste over here. But I don't want to use like that. Why? Because let's take some sample invoice from any like boot snippet site, so that I can say you why we don't want it to take like that. As we are seeing the preview, right? So check this preview. Take some normal any. Yeah, as we are seeing this over here, just click on inspect element, and I wanted to take this HTML. So, and I wanted to use the same string over here, and I wanted to use the same string over here too, so that we can clearly understand why we don't want to use this static string like this. Now I wanted to delete this HTML and this PDF too. Just run the application again. Yeah, these two got generated. Let's check in browser, or the PDF generated is like this, but actually the output should be like something like this, and we are not getting clearly. Oh, the data is correct, but the CSS is not loading. So if you see the HTML which is generated in our path, it will load correctly when we are loading that is in browser. Why? Because if you see the data which we have pasted over here, it contains some third party related CSS like Bootstrap or some JS related thing over here. So when we are passing this content as an static content, what it will do is it will just pass that file as an static and it will generate the PDF, so that we are not able to load the CSS and all. So as this HTML to PDF has given an another option like loading the file using the URL. So this time I wanted to use this thing, but where is our file? Where is the URL we which contains the data which I wanted to use this? So for this thing, I will create an API, and in that API, I will return this invoice.html as a response, and I will give that URL over here. Let's do that. First, sorry, for this thing, first we need to add express. Const express. As we haven't installed express still yet, just run a command with npm install space express. So it got created. Now just I wanted to listen this express in app. Now I will declare app.listen of. I will give and port like 3000. So let's declare that too in the top. Let's give 3000 and give port, comma, callback function that I wanted to check, and I wanted to print console dot log of app listening at port 3000. Let's check by running the application. Sorry, not an issue. Just run the application again. If you see app listening at port 3000, and HTML and PDF got created. And if you see the PDF, the URL is different. Let's see what data is present in this URL, and that content will load in the PDF. See, this is the content we have, and the same way it will load in this PDF. Let's check that. Just go to the file explorer and check this file. If you see, we got the same data what we have in this URL. In the same way, we can write an API which we wanted to return this generated invoice.html as a response, and I wanted to load that URL, and that I will convert that to PDF as we have the existing process. For that, I will create an API. Just app.getOff. I'm using the URL as default. Request comma response messages. So in this, what I will do is fs dot read file. As you see, already it will create when our function got run. It will create this invoice.html. So I wanted to read this file from the path using file stream. So I will give the path like dot slash invoice.html, and I'm just giving, and I can get that HTML from the callback function. If it throws error, let's throw the error. Now I wanted to send this HTML which we are getting from this read file method. I wanted to send this as response. So for that, what I will do is first I wanted to set the header. Why? Because this time we are passing the content type is different. Why? Because we wanted to pass the HTML file. So we need to specify the content type over here. It's with text class HTML, and I wanted to write that file which we got when we are reading from the file stream in the response, and I'm ending the response. So when we call this app.get, the HTML which we have created that will load over here. Let's check that. Just run the application. HTML created. Let's don't worry about the PDF. We'll check on that later. Let's go to the application. Just localhost slash 3000. If you see, now we are getting the HTML data. So in this, now I will give this URL as an input to this file. So what it will do is it will take this URL and it will generate the PDF. Let's run the application. HTML created and PDF got created. If you refresh, yes, HTML is loaded. Now let's check our PDF from the file path. Let's get created. See, now we are able to view the invoice in a clear way. I hope it is loading in a good manner now. So when we are wanted to generate an invoice or any email templates or something like using Node, we can just update this string and we'll convert this string to HTML and we can generate the PDF. I hope you guys understand this functionality and this requirement. Thank you so much.